is Isabel. I am the creator of Putting on the Mask, which is an animated documentary about medical students in the United Kingdom. I thought that it was appropriate for me to also wear a mask because all of my interviewees, as you'll know if you've watched the documentary, also did that. I'm currently on campus at the Hong Kong University of Science and Technology. One of our professors here was the organizer of the Redbird Student Film Festival, which was the event for which I created the documentary. And so, yeah, I think it would be really nice to dive in and talk a bit about my inspiration and why and how I made the film. I wrote down a little list of questions for myself, and the first one is, what is your process? So for me, I knew from the start that I wanted to make an animated documentary because I knew that it would be safer. I also wanted to pay tribute to some of my friends who were just, coming out of med school and going straight into this extremely high stakes environment. And so those were the two things that really inspired me to settle on the subject matter and then also the medium with which I made the film. First of all, I think the most important part of any documentary is information gathering. So I interviewed lots of medics, I interviewed non-medical students, my friends, I interviewed some junior doctors as well, and I also watched a lot of animated films, both documentaries and also the animations, fictional films, to get an idea of the kind of style I wanted to use. I also watched several vlogs. So several different medical students and doctors have vlogs in which they talked about, caring for patients who have COVID-19. I'll share some links in the description of this video, so check them out as well, because they were really important to my research. Okay, second question. What was the best part of making the animation? Well, I enjoyed the interviews, I enjoyed the inspiration, the process of talking to my friends and talking to these really brave people and kind of figuring out what made them tick. But I also really enjoyed the process of storyboarding. So that's where you almost make your film into like a comic strip of each scene. I think that was the moment for me where I started to think, okay, yeah, I can do this. I know how this is going to fit together. So I think the beginning, the middle, and the end all have good aspects. The hardest part. So the hardest part for me, I think, was the animation itself. So basically, putting together everything in order, systematically, just frame by frame. It's just a long process. And I think there are moments where you just want to give up, and just pushing through that pain was worth it in the end, but there were definitely some difficult moments. Something new that I learned in this process was that I can make a 7-minute animation. At the beginning I honestly didn't know if it would work, but in the end I pulled through, so I'm really proud of that. So an unexpected challenge I encountered. I think a lot of the challenges were very expected. So, gathering the materials was challenging, and so was, editing everything and compositing everything on my 5-year-old laptop. All, came with their challenges. I think the most unexpected challenge that I faced was when, a few days before the deadline, then a very heavy film theory book fell from a high shelf in my bedroom onto the screen of my laptop. So that was the moment when I thought the universe just doesn't want me to finish this film. Actually, I'll go and get the book. yeah, so this is the book. It fell onto my laptop and the screen cracked and I had to go and get it repaired. But luckily, university's library let me use their software to finish it. So I still managed to make the deadline. But it just goes to show, you can plan for everything. You can back up your files a million times. You can have all the patience in the world, but something will always happen that you don't expect in a situation like this. Something that I would change, I think I would have liked to have had more time, and not just time but energy to spend on this project, because if you watch it you will see, on the whole I'm very happy with it, but there's always more to be done. For me the most important message of the film is the fact that anyone can step up. Although these medics are extremely special people, at the end of the day they're just humans like you and me. We can all do our bit to help fight the virus and pull together in our communities. If that's making a film, great. If that is getting involved in a local food bank, amazing. There are so many different ways to help, and I think one thing that I learned while making this was that everyone has limitations as well. So one of the big things that the people I interviewed struggled with was times when you run out of options and you run out of resources to help in a difficult situation. All of us have moments we're not proud of. There are times when we wish that we had been better, but that's just how life is, I think. And you can't hold on to those moments. You have to keep moving forward. One piece of advice. I don't know. Get a computer that isn't 5 years old to do 4K Ultra HD animation on. Honestly. But on the other side, don't let your tools or lack thereof, or your experience or lack thereof, hold you back from trying to create something meaningful and something challenging and something experimental, because your idea will still shine through no matter how lackluster your tools are. And they do say that a poor workman blames his tools. Don't let the fact that maybe you've never made an animation before, never made a film before, never written a script before, you don't know anyone who does, stop you. Like, just grab a couple of your friends and make an experiment, and if nothing else, you'll have fun. Yeah, that would be my main piece of advice. Question number 9, what comes next? I would say, for me, I'm taking a little break because the semester has just started. I have lots of reading to do. But on the back burner, I have some projects. I have a couple of music-related projects coming up. So a personal project, and then I'm also aiming to help a friend of mine who plays the harp to produce a music video. So I'm really excited to work on those in my downtime. I'm also working on an animated documentary about mental health issues. I don't want to get too far into the details, but it's essentially a mixture of live action and animation, and the focus is very much on the voices of people who have experienced certain mental illnesses and their recovery processes and how they manage their conditions. So, prioritizing their voices maybe over a more clinical approach. So that's something that I'm really excited to be getting back to work on now that this project is over. Film and animation is to say it's my passion sounds really cliche, but it's true. It is very much the thing that I pour my identity and my creativity into. If you are into animation or film, music, or anything creative really, please do just get in touch and maybe we can work on something together. Final point was I just wanted to do a little shout out to some of the other amazing student films that were made as part of this project. Two of my personal favourites were Distance by Coriander Studios, which is just gorgeous, it was just a joy to watch, and also The Unmasked, which tells a really interesting little story about the unexpected impacts of the pandemic on certain communities in Hong Kong. So if you have some free time, I would really recommend sitting down and watching them, as well as the other wonderful films that have been produced by HKUST students as part of this project. So yeah, I think that's about it from me. Thank you for watching if you've made it this far, and let me know what you thought about the film. Just let me know in the comments. Bye!